Hello and welcome to my Blender to Unity Tower Defense game tutorial, and in this part we'll get around to creating this beautiful little missile launching system here that's going to fire missiles out of its turret and start doing some serious damage on our aliens. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we're going to want to do is model ourselves a missile that the missile is actually going to fire out of its turret. I realise I didn't do this in the original tutorial, so I'm going to mock something up now. My apologies, I don't have the keylogger. It looks like the latest Blender doesn't have that, so what I'll just try and talk you through what I'm going to do. I'm going to add a very simple sphere, Shift A, Mesh, UV sphere, and I'm going to make it segments 8 by 8, so very, very tiny. You can see they're very, very low res, and bear in mind this is going to be very, very small. So 8 by 8 may even be 6 by 6 might be enough, but I'm going to go for 8 by 8. I'm going to rotate X RX 90 to get it on there, and what I'm going to do, I think, is just go to side view. Am I in perspective? Yes, I'm going to press numpad 5 to go into orthographic, tab into edit mode, and I'm going to press Z to go into wireframe, select those, do Shift D, Y, just grab it along about there, and then A again to get rid of it, B, and select that lot, press X and vertices, and then I can do a select those by Alt right click and Alt Shift right click and just do W bridge edge loops. Alright, that creates this sort of, I'm just going to go back into that mode there, that creates this sort of initial base of the front of the missile. Go back into side view, Z, I'm just going to get rid of those faces there. No, I'm not. I'm going to Alt Shift right click. I'm going to get rid of those faces there, and then I'll just there, and I'll E, Y, just pull that out. And that's going to be the back. All right. Now I hope you can see that this is starting to look a bit like a missile. It'll become a bit clearer. I might make that a bit bigger. G on the Y. There, maybe. We can play around with the lengths in a minute to see how that's going along. Now I'm going to have to add some fins to this, so it actually looks like a missile and not just. I don't know what that looks like right now, so let's just, what I'll do is I'll go into front view 1, press Z, and I'm going to, and A to get rid of all those, and I'm going to get rid of all of those and all of those just by doing box select and remove them, and then we're going to go in, we'll add a modifier, add the mirror on the X and the Z, and you'll notice that the Z has gone a bit wonky, and that's because I need to go back into object mode and do Control A, rotation and scale. There we go. And now we're only working on this piece here, which is what we want. I might now do the necessary, just click over here and do shading UVs, faces, smooth. Go over here to auto smooth. You can see that this new auto smoothing 2.77, you need to yank the angle up a lot more. I think I'm going to try something like 90. Alright, and then we'll just click, select those two and do edges sharp there. I think for me, if I just quickly go back into edit mode, I think for me I'd like to bring that out, that one there out of it. G on the Y. Yeah, that looks at G, Y. I'll let you guys play with this and see what you think, if that's accurate or not. Alrighty, we just need to add a fin. So I'm going to do that. Control Tab 3 to go into face select mode. I'll select those two faces and I'll press I. Something like that. And then just, I notice that those, Control Tab 2, just select those two edges there, Control E, mark sharp, no, sorry, edges smooth there, and then we'll do GG and just drag that along, and finally Control Tab 3, just select those two faces and do E to extrude. And you can see there's a bit of a problem there. We need to mark some of these as sharp, so let's just, if it's kind, oh, it has done it for us, so there we go. So we can Alt right click around there and just do edges sharp. That makes that look a lot better. And then what we'll do is we'll just grab these two edges here and do GG and pull them back. We're almost certainly going to have to mark all of these as sharp, I think. I don't know if we want to mark that front one there as sharp. Let's just do Control E, mark sharp there. That for me, okay, bear in mind this is going to be very, very small. You're hardly going to see it. So I'm just going to keep it at that. What I will do as well is I'll just do Control Tab 1, back to modify, make sure clipping's on, and I'll just grab that. I'm going to do EX and drag it into the middle, and I'm going to do the same here, EX and drag it into the middle. That's going to create a triangle there. I don't want that. So I'm going to have to live with it. Let's just live with it for now. F. I know how I'm going to solve this. F. And what I'll also do is just get those two edges there and mark them as sharp. Pretty sure I know how to deal with this. Right. One thing we want to do before we apply this modifier is let's add some seams to it. So let's click on those two. Control E. Mark seam. We're clearly going to have to mark this seam here. That's going to have to be separated. I think I know how I'm going to do this. I'm going to do something like those two as well. Control E, mark seam. And what we can do actually, let's just unwrap this thing now, just to get an idea of what it's going to look like. Yeah, so if we Control Tab 3, L, U, unwrap. I can already tell that's not right. Yeah, you see you've got some problems. Let's quickly, if we just press N and go down to here, you can uncheck the seam, the sharp option, so we only see the seams. So that's looking rubbish because I thought that would work. No, hang on. Control E. No, I'm going to do those. Come on, Rich. Control Tab 2. I know where I'm going wrong. Sorry, guys. So I'm going to clear the seam on all of those. Control E, clear seam, and it's these corner ones I want to do, isn't it? I'm being an idiot. Sorry. There. Control E, mark seam, and now if I do that and just press L, that's annoying. Control Tab 3, L, U, unwrap. We've got a near perfect. I'm just going to quickly go back in here and do Control A, rotation and scale. Let's try that again. U, unwrap. That's interesting. I thought that would unwrap perfectly, but it hasn't. But you know what? It's absolutely close enough for me. So now I will tab back out and then apply the mirror. No, let's just keep going actually with a few more. Control Tab 2, we can add one there. Control E, mark seam. I think that will actually do. That'll do. Right, so go out and click apply. Now we will tab back in. Now, can I turn this back into a quad? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, I can. So let's just do that now. Let's Control 2, Tab 2. If we just do those two and just select them, just do X, dissolve edges. Pretty sure that makes those quads. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it does, albeit not perfect, but good enough. Now, what I want to do is I want to add a seam all the way down the bottom. Control E, mark seam. Let's just have a little look at that unwrapped. You can see this front bit here is a problem. I think what I need to do, just to kind of help it out a bit, is just select those ones there, and those ones, and those ones there. Let's do Control E, mark seam. I think that'll make it a lot happier. It's happy enough, guys. I know this isn't quite perfect, but it doesn't actually matter because all I'm going to be doing now is creating a new image, and we'll call this missile diffuse, and we don't want it anywhere near that. I'm going to do a 256. Yes, 256 by 256. No alpha. We'll say OK, because this is going to be a really simple looking model. We're not going to do anything fancy for now. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go over to the materials and create a new one for it. I want it white by default, which is exactly what I want. So let's just we'll just call this one white. And what we'll do is we'll add another one by clicking here, new, and we'll call this red. Red, not read, red. And then what I can do, if I just do Control 3, and if I just tab these guys, to be honest with you, I even wonder if just do C there, select those. If 256 by 256 is too many, but let's. I'll just select these guys. Oh, excuse me. I should have done this in. Can I do L? L. Ah, perfect. Look at this, L and L. And what we'll do is we'll set the color on this to red. No, that's that. Why is that? No, I'm on the wrong thing. That's why. Don't do this to me. Sorry, I'll go back again. So set these to 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, so I was on the wrong thing. It's this one we want as red. Let's do it again on the diffuse. Whatever, that's fine. And now if we just click assign, what happened to the front ones? I don't know. That's all of them, and I might just do those ones as well. Assign. So that's going to be what our missile looks like. If you want to go to town on this, you could maybe add some text to it or something. You could even do that in GIMP or something like that. But what I'm actually going to do now is I'm going to bake it. I'm going to go straight in there. That looks okay, absolutely fine to me. I'm going to go over to the camera and go down to the bottom and do bake. And then I'm going to click on textures. And if I just now select bake, you can see that it's actually, hang on, baked everything out for me. Everything that needs to. I'll just unselect the stretch so you can see it here. It's done everything I need. Now I could, if I was feeling fancy, go in and model this and check it out, but bear in mind this is going to be very, very tiny. Alright, so although this is a 256 by 256 image, it could even have been smaller than that. I think I may have got away with a couple of pixels, a white or a red one, I'm not sure. But I'm going to 256 by 256, which is a nice small image. So let's save that image. So I'm going to go over to my Unity project, 1 second. Okay, I'm in the assets models folder. What I'll do is I'll create a new folder. What should we call it? Just call it missile. It's tempting to put it in the missile launcher thing, but I won't do that. I'll just keep it in there, missile, and we'll call it missile diffuse.png. Just make sure the alpha's not set. RGB is correct. There's no need to have an alpha channel on this. There's no alpha being used. I wonder if I'll just try and put compression to 100%, see if that works, and click on save as image. That's good. And also let's just, why don't we, while we're at it, just save the Blender file there as well. Okay, I'll put that in here, missile launcher. I'll just call that as a missile. I'm in the missile launcher folder. I'm in the wrong folder. Excuse me, guys. It's missile. And we'll call this missile.blend. Alright, I think we're almost there for the modelling. You can see how quickly I've modelled this. It's not terrible. I kind of like it. Maybe I'll just do texturing in Blender from now on, save myself the money for Substance Painter. No, who am I kidding? It doesn't look great, but it'll be fine with a bit of shading and stuff like that. Okay, so let's just export this as well. File, export, FBX. We're in the missile folder and we want missile.fbx. Make sure it's just the selected objects, otherwise you're going to end up with that pain of having the camera and all that nonsense. Actually, before we do that, let's just do RX minus 90. Are there any scaling issues? Let's just make sure we've done rotation and scale. Now it is massive. Shall we make it smaller? Let's make it smaller so that we've actually got something that resembles a missile size. So let's do, where are we on the size here? Let's quickly go over to this setting here, the scene settings, and we'll just change to metric, and we'll make the X dimension, which is going this way, so we'll make that, well, let's just scale it. Let's just scale it by 0.25, and that makes it 50 centimeters, so the best part of 2 feet by 2 feet by 1.5 feet. That's a lot smaller. It may be even too big still, but let's just go with that and do rotation and scale. It may still be too big compared to everything else, but at least it'll be in the right ballpark. And we will do, it's just Control S again, and then file, export, FBX, and we will call it missile FBX. It just knew. Export FBX. Okay, let's load this up into Unity. Alright, with Unity loaded, I can look in my models and my missile here and see my missile, which is the FBX one. That's the one. There it is. It's got the usual problems in that it is probably going to be that 0.01. So let's spin over to Explorer and let's just get missile.fbx.meta. There it is. If I pull up Notepad++, I don't know if you guys have seen this before, but there's this issue where it scales it down to 0.01 size. I'll show you. What am I no, let's do it in this one. I'll just drag it in. I'll just drag it in there. Okay, it was much too big. Okay, fine. But what it's done is if I click on the missile, it did bring everything in. It brought everything: the camera, the lamp, and the sphere. Let's quickly sort that out by deleting it. Here, I thought I said selected objects, so you probably saw that I didn't, right? So let's do that again. File, export, FBX, selected objects. No, do you know what? I don't think I did. I think I did it the first time, but not the second time. And now if we go back into here, if it's quick and kind, where are we? This one. That's better. That's better. There we go. Now we can drag it in. Alright, and you can see that what it does is it sets it to 100 times the size. I have no answers. I have no answers for this. So what we do is just quickly delete it, and we'll bring in the missile fbx.meta. Yeah, let's reload it. This file here that gets created when you go back into Unity. If we just bring that into Notepad++ and just change this use file scale to 0. A couple of escapes. Control S. Go back into here now. And now if we drag it in, what will happen is it will be enormous because it's still set to 100 times the size. So we'll just quickly set reset, and it's facing the right direction. You can see the Z-axis is pointing forward, exactly what we're after. It's huge. I wish I'd gone a bit smaller. I could do that. I could do that in Blender to get it right early. What do you think? I think it's worth doing it at least to scale it by 0.5 again. So scale to 0.5 again. Control A, rotation and scale. File, export FBX, missile.fbx, export FBX. I don't think I need to change the. Yeah, that's in the right ballpark now, isn't it? I think it's still too big. Let's prove that. We've got a pretty. I'm pretty satisfied with it. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, so what we'll do now is we'll just get our prefabs folder up, and we'll just drag that let's just rename it to missile here, and then just drag that into there. So it's actually one of the turrets. So it's actually one of the prefabs. Let's bring up our missile launcher. There it is. In the prefabs, excuse me, not in the models. In the missile launcher turret. Let's just drag that in somewhere. It doesn't really matter where. There is fine. And now we can just start gauging the size that it needs to be. I'm very tempted to halve it again in Blender. What do you think? I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to halve it one more time. File, scale to 0.5. Okay. Control A, rotation and scale. File, export FBX. Export. There, that's close. So now we can just get a rough idea of how big we want it to be here. It's much too big. It needs to be the size of one of those things there. Tempted to halve it again. We can do this in Blender, by the way, by setting the scale. I just like the idea that we're getting it right or close to being right in Blender first. I'm going to halve it one more time. File, no, hang on. Size it, scale to 0.5 one more time. Then Control A, rotation and scale. File, export FBX. Boom. Yeah, that's more like it. I very much like the size of that. Actually, you can see why I wanted to keep the texture small, the image, the diffuse normal. It's very white, this, isn't it? I wish I'd gone for a grayer colour. I still could. Could change it to a darker colour. Should we quickly do that? I'm faffing, guys, but it should be very easy to do. If I just tab in, go to the materials, and just click on the white here, and then just change that to a dimmer colour. How dim should I go? I think, in fact, I don't even need to be in the. It's gone a bit funky on the position. Let's just do that. It's because it's so small. Yeah, I think that's a bit better. we can do some funky stuff here. You can set some, make it some noise and things, but let's just save that, and I will go back to here, bake the textures, and then save that image. Save as image material. Oh no, missile diffuse. Save as image. That makes it a little bit darker, although it doesn't show there. Did I actually update it here? Curious. I think I know the reason for this, and it's because I didn't add a yeah, so we can remove those. We need to add a, let's create a material in the missile. I forgot all about this. We'll create a material here, create material, and we will call it missile material, and we will simply add the missile diffuse to it there, and then we should be able to do that. That's a bit better. And now if we go to missile here, and we make sure we click apply so it does it on the prefab. Alright, that's a bit darker, that's a bit more reasonable, not so super bright. We have our missile, guys. I may adjust the scale on that now in Unity. I don't think I'm going to adjust it anymore in Blender. I think we're happy with the way Blender looks. So the next thing to do is create some sort of particle effect for this, so that when it's shooting out, there's some smoke behind it. I was thinking about fire, possibly, or smoke. I'm not sure. Let's go with smoke, because I know that the standard asset has some smoke elements to it. And see how that looks, and then maybe we can have a play and add fire, or heck, maybe even add both. So let's work on the particle system next. Okay, rather than actually take you through the process of me laboriously trying to work out what the right settings were, I had a little play. I managed to find this rather good looking, I guess what you call that, flame jet coming out the back of the missile that I thought was more than adequate considering the size that this missile is going to be. All I did was, as usual, create a particle system. I can take you through these values, but you can see that the start lifetime is actually very... Oh, whoopsie, 0.15. There you go, you can go crazy, like 0.15. Start speed 1, start size very small. Position just at the back there. The only other real thing, I think, what was the emission? The emission rate I put to 60. You can lower that slightly, I think, if you're worried about performance. Even 40 is acceptable, but I found 60 to be about right. Looked good in the game window. What else? The shape was I just set it to cone, very very small, 0.01. The only other thing I changed was size over lifetime. If you have a look at that, you can see I've just kind of gone for a this curve here, and I've pulled it to about halfway. I think just enough to give it a sort of a conish shape as it dies out. I'm more than happy with that, so I thought I'd just go with that for now. So we're ready for this guy to get attached to the machine gun turret. So let's get our machine gun turret up to speed. The first thing we're going to need to do with our our missile turret, excuse me, is to create the subclass of the turret targeting system. So let's get that done now. Let's go over to here, and what we'll do is we'll just do create C# script, and we will call this missile launcher targeting system. Double click it. I'm hoping that will bring us straight into my develop. It did not. Is that because it's loading a separate copy? Probably, knowing my luck, or maybe I'm just being a bit stupid. Maybe if I can just click on here I can just go down and get it. Where are you? Missile launcher turret, there it is. Okay, we'll, rather than extend mono behavior, we'll extend turret targeting system. So let's grab over here, just double click that there, which means we need to grab a few of these things. I'll just grab the lot for now, excuse me, and just put them in here, and just start removing some of this stuff. Let's just comment these out. We know that for now, let's just completely remove them, shall we? What I'm going to do with this, guy is I'm going to actually fire it off by instantiating a missile, and this missile here is going to have a script attached to it that's going to tell it its target. So let's just do that right now. Let's quickly get a missile here, and let's add a new component. We'll just have a C# script. New script, and we'll call this missile control. And what this is going to do, that's going to go to the assets, I'd imagine. Yes, so we just quickly drag and drop that into scripts. What this is going to do, excuse me guys, I'm bouncing around a touch, so my apologies, but I want to get this right now. The missile control, here we go. This is going to have a public, for now, game object target. Right. And every frame, and it's going to have a speed as well. Public float speed equals 1f for now. On update, we're going to say transform dot look at target, transform dot move towards, no, let's not worry about that just yet. Transform yeah, we'll work on that one in a second. Let's just leave that for now. We'll just get it looking at it. Okay, the idea of this is it's going to be moving towards it. That's good. Under the maybe fire, I've done that before. Here we go. So we spin back over to here. Under the maybe fire, we'll have so we'll have a value here that's going to be float last fired equals time dot delta time, and we're going to have a public float fire delay equals I think delta time is in milliseconds, so let's just say 2000 f. I hope that's right. Or is time dot delta time like 2.317 or something like that? Maybe not. No, I think that's right. Time dot delta time. So 2000 f should be right, and then we'll say something along the that's it. Last fired. So we're going to say if brackets last fired is greater than, is less than, is greater than. Let's just go for this. Time dot delta time plus fire delay. I think that's right. Instantiate missile. Alright, let's just come back to that. And then we'll say last fired equals time dot delta time. Let's just double check that it looks right. If the time is the last fired is greater than, well, it'll never be greater than, will it? So it must be less than time dot delta time plus fire delay. I always get this around the wrong way. Let me just have a quick think about that. I'm sorry, it's pretty obvious, isn't it? It's the other way around. It's if time dot delta time is greater than last fired plus fire delay, instantiate missile, last fired equals, there we go. Engage target and disengage target, this is where this maybe fire is all going to be in good order. So let's just quickly get this guy on the screen, make sure that it's working now. Missile launcher turret targeting system, yeah, that looks fine. So let's just get our missile. Let's just make sure we apply that, and we'll delete it for now because it's a prefab. Thank you. We'll get our prefabs here. We'll get our missile launcher turret, and we will grab our script, which is here, which is the missile launcher targeting system. Let's just drag that in there, and that should be all we need. I just need to apply that again. Excuse me, I definitely do not need to put that there. That's the wrong place. Sorry. Remove component. I need to add it to the missile launcher here, don't I? Missile launcher targeting system. There we go. Okay, so Control S this. Let me just zoom out a second. I think I might have gone a bit mad with the main camera. I was messing around with the missile. So let's just get that in so everything's in sight like that. 42, maybe a little touch more. Okay, we'll just have a quick look at that. I can see there's a script error there. Let's also, so while we've got the missile launcher, let's just apply that. Delete it. We will, under the canvas, turret bar, missile launcher, here. Let's just quickly remind myself how we did this here. So we're going to add the drag handler into the missile launcher. So let's do that. Drag handler into the missile launcher. And under the drag handler prefab. Oh, I already did it. My apologies. I've already done it. I thought I hadn't done that. Good. That's good news. Let's see if this works. Well, it doesn't work, does it? Because it's saying the best. Okay, let's just quickly just remove that for now. All right. And let's just drag one of these guys on. We appear to have. Oh, I know why. We've lost our slots. Let's just. It doesn't have to be done now, that does it? Available slots. But so go to the missile launcher, lock it. Go to available slots. Just grab them and add them to the drag handler. There we go. Okay, just for the sake of it, and make sure we click unlock. Otherwise, we'll get ourselves confused. Okay, let's try it again. Bonk. I should have put one over here, shouldn't I, so I could test a bit quicker. Maybe I should. I'm just hoping this is just going to point towards it for now. That's all I want to see. It's doing no such thing. Let's just quickly check the console. No errors on the console. Have we added a we have not added a collider. Well, that doesn't help, does it? So let's just do that. A sphere collider is trigger, and a radius of 4. I don't know why that's not showing. Because it would be here, wouldn't it? It would be showing. There we go. And I think, unless I'm mistaken, let me just quickly pick a look at another one. Prefabs. Unless I'm mistaken, we need to have a rigid body as well. Let me just confirm that. Yes, we do. So let's just quickly pop back to the missile launcher. Yeah, we'll remove. Yeah, let's just apply that to here. I'm bouncing around, guys. Let's just stop it. The missile launcher turret. Slide in here. We need to add a sphere collider. Well, I've just done that a second ago, but it was running at the time, so it doesn't save it. And we'll also add a rigid body. Like so. I think we just need to sort of use gravity. And now let's give it a go. Drag her on. I don't know why it's moved right up there. That's bizarre. Okay. What did I do to deserve that? Let's just quickly grab this back on. It's gone bananas. Why have you done that? Excuse me. 1 second, guys. I'll take a look at why it's doing that. Hey guys, so I think what it was, I'm just guessing, I've removed the rigid body from the game object, although I'm completely happy about that. But what I have also noticed is that this get delta time, which is absolutely correct. Let's just go to that one here. So it's this here, which is say float last fired. So, and then we'll say Control X there, and under start we'll have last fired equals that. Oh, delta time. I might just do actually debug.log last fired. Okay. Let's just test that out. Control S. Now let's try clicking play. To check the console. It is 0.02. Okay, so let's assume that is the time it takes per frame. Now if we drag it on, it's working okay. I still need to pick these little slots. I mean, this one's here is working because there we go, that seems to work. Seems to follow it round. There we go, and that's following around. Obviously it's not doing anything yet, but we're definitely getting close. Now I don't know why this isn't. Let's quickly remove that debug.log there. I might just move that to here, just to take a look and see what that time.delta time looks like. It's going to be annoying. I click play, there we go. Drag that in. I need to remove that one. Let's quickly pause it and do unselect maximize on play. Okay, I don't quite understand why that's not showing the thing. Maybe I need to save it, do I? No, it's saved. What have I done wrong? Let's just make that one. I think this is the problem. I need to put that as 1F. It's for 1 second. Let's just try that again. Yeah, I had a feeling that might be the case. It's still not working though, is it? Maybe if I just drag one in, let's just see if that works. No, it's having none of it. Okay, I'm not clear on why this isn't working. Have we attached it? Missile launcher. I'm pretty sure that we have. I'm going to delete this one, by the way. Let's just make sure we apply it and then delete it. I know I might add another slot in a minute just to try stuff out because it's annoying that they're right over here. Put that in there. Yeah, that's going to annoy me. Having to wait. Alright, that's not showing any debugs there, which means this bit here isn't being reached. If time.delta time is greater than last fired plus fire delay. We'll take a little look at that in a minute. Let's just debug.log. Last fired, and let's do a void update debug.log time.delta. There. Let's just try that now. Come on. Let's drag one in. So yes, so this is showing. Oh, I know what I've done wrong. I'm sorry. This is showing the time between frames, isn't it? I do apologise, guys. It should be time dot. Yeah, so it's time dot fixed time. No. Time dot. Yeah, it's that one. My apologies, guys. And it's time dot time there. Time dot time there. And time dot time there. That's not right, that's lowercase t. Let's try that. And unselect that. Now we should only see it occasionally. Drag it in. Yes, that's when it got dragged in, look, 1.409. And now it's not turning towards it. Why have you stopped doing that? Oh, mamma mia. 1 second. Sorry guys, I've realised the error of my ways. I put this update method in here and it was overriding the turret targeting system update, which is why none of this was getting called, which is why I wasn't doing any of the turning. That took me a little while to work out. So let's just remove this this update now, and let's give it another try in Unity. Okay, let's run this. Drag that in, pop it on there. Guys, apologies, I don't know what I'm doing differently here, but I've added this rigid body now, and it seems to be working again. It didn't get that weird positioning. I'm hoping that there we go. We're back in. Thank goodness for that. God, that took me a while to work out. Yes, I might update the update method in to make it overridable, a bit like the start method. There we go. This is looking exactly like I want it to do it, but as yet there's still no missiles. So let's get a missile instantiated. Let's quickly spin through that 1 second here. So what we need to do, let's just make sure that it is going to run it every second. So let's just say debug.log. Let's just make it every 2 seconds, shall we, just to give ourselves a fighting chance. We might need to change that anyway. Debug.log. Time to fire. Let's just give that a quick run. Make sure that's going off every second. Like I say, as always, I'll put a link to the Unity package and the GitHub repository so that you guys can download that and play with it and have a little look. Okay, let's check the console. I'm expecting that to say time to fire. It's not saying time to fire. Can you see that? Okay, so we've done something wrong here. Let's take a quick look. So what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to do debug.log time.time. If time.time is greater than last fired plus fire delay, yeah, okay. And let's just do that as well. Debug log brackets time.time plus last fired plus fired. Alright, actually that's going to be a bit busy, but well, don't matter. Let's make sure I've saved it. Catches me out too often. Run it again. Drag you in. Okay, that's going to be annoying, but maybe we can still work on it. Okay, let's pause this. 2007 spot 801. That's a lot higher, would you not say? Is a lot greater than last fire plus fire delay. Last fire equals time.time. Hang on, let's make sure I got them around the right way. And then last, let's say next fire equals. Okay, let's just do that. Let's spin back to over here. I think I put some extra logging in while I was messing around. Let's just get rid of that. And under, yeah, let's just remove these. There's a locking on one somewhere that I changed. Here we go. Checking for enemies in range. Just get rid of that. Locking on, that's the one. Okay, let's get rid of that as well. Okay, we'll get rid of it. Comment it out. Long video this, guys. Sorry about this. That's what happens when you do these things live, I guess. Let's drag that in. Okay. Just moving on. Time.time. There. Next fire is 4.09. So, what have I done wrong? Where's my missile launcher? Here. Override public void, maybe fire. If time.time is greater than last fire plus fire delay, which I think we're all agreed it is. Yeah. Debug.log time to fire. It's running. If time.time is greater than next fire, which it is, last fire plus fire delay, is 4.09, then time to fire. 1 second, guys, let me have another look. You know what? I think it's time to debug this. So let's just click on here, add a little debug point, and we'll click on play here. Spin back to Unity, stop it, and start it again. And just click that in. Drag. Come on, it takes a little time to start up when you're running debug mode. It's going to take its time. And eventually, here we go. Brilliant. I love debug mode. And now we can have a little look and see what's going on. So let's just, if we just select that bit and have a look at time.time. Yeah, I was hoping you'd tell me what the time. what it was. That's not good, is it? Okay, so let's just quickly do that. Hover over. There we go. So that's 2002 spot 83. Oh no, last. Yeah, so last 2.82 fire delay is 2000. I know what's happened. How annoying is that? It's because... Okay, we can stop this now. We can stop this. It's because I will bet you here fire delay has stayed at 2000. If we set that to 2 there in the actual what you can do as well is you can just click on here and say reset, and that'll set it back to the values in the script. Guys, I'm so sorry. I'm just such is the power of a debugger though. Don't underestimate the debugger. I don't know why I wasn't doing that a little bit earlier. And now we should start seeing some time to fires now. There we go. Okay, still not showing them. Yes, it is. You can see that the next fire is going up. Look, this is good. So what we'll do, hang on. It may be just getting a bit tied up. So let's run this again. We are almost there. Pop that in. Must remove that. That's just annoying. That's for the start time. Time to fire. Time to fire. Time to fire. Excellent, excellent. So it's firing one off every 2 seconds. Let's just get rid of some of these debug statements now. I must have put one at the start method somewhere. There we go. Okay, so let's unselect that debug point because it's annoying. Let's get rid of that as well. We know it's going to work now. And let's instantiate the missile. I will grab the script and be right back. Alright, so another thing we're going to need to do is we're going to have another public game object. A missile object. Missile game object. Save that in there. And if we pop over to our here, there it is, and then what we can do is we can just drag the missile into there. And then what we can do is we can go back into, I'm doing it on the prefab, yes I am. Then we can go back into here and we can say instantiate missile object, and we're going to say transform.position. What we'll do is say new vector 3 I need to be careful here because it needs to be moving forward. I think that should be fine. So we'll just say transform.position dot x comma transform.position dot y comma transform dot position dot z plus 1f. Alright, and then that's weird quaternion dot identity thing. Identity there. I think that's all we need for now. Now there's going to be a problem because this missile's not going to go anywhere. We know about that. So we're going to see multiple missiles. But let's just have a look, see if it creates it at least, and see that it creates it in the right position. This could be amusing. Okay, let's try this. Go. Here we go. Any errors? Let's just clear that. What's this variable mf is assigned but it's never used in the drag handler. Okay. Let's quickly look. It's on line 110. Mesh filter MF. Is that right? Okay, well let's not do that just yet. We'll play around with that in a minute when we've got our missiles working. Maybe we can remove that. Pop you in. There we go. And we wait. It's not throwing an error, which surprised me. Okay. it's putting them all in the same place. Now that's because I need to go transform.forward. So bear with me 1 second. Okay guys, I worked it out, or rather the internet worked it out for me, which is that we need to say the instantiation position, as in where we're going to put the object. It's the current position plus the transform.forward times a certain distance. 1.5 is much too much, so I'm just going to do 1.1. Let's just give that a try. Okay. Drag that over. There's still going to be some problems, but we'll get through it. Really think I should put a slot there just to make this a lot quicker. There we go. You can see it's popping them in now. It's popping them still much too far away. So let's just try a couple of values. I'm going to try a couple of values until I get it right, and I'll pause this until I get it right, and then come back to you. 1 second. Okay, I'm finding 0.4 seems to be about the right distance, nice and close. So let's give that a quick try here, just to prove it to you. You can still see there's a bit of a problem. In fact, what I might do just to maximise on play here, just to give us a chance of seeing a bit better what's going on. Oh, let me make sure I drag this in. There we go. And you can see that the initial problem is it's facing completely the wrong way. That's okay, they're always facing forward. They're always facing the right direction. And we can tweak this in a few seconds. So let's get the missile working. Now the missile is instantiated, we need to tell it what target it's aiming at. That should be easy, because we'll have here, so we'll say, I think you can just say instantiate does, let's just do that, does return the object. Okay. Game object missile equals, is it going to be funny with me? Is that going to work, or is it going to ask? Expecting, no, that I wasn't expecting. Look, hang on. Comma, expecting brackets. Where have I got that wrong? Oh, I've removed instantiate. How did that happen? It's still happy. I thought that it might give me, yeah, exactly. And then I'm going to have to say as game object here. There. I think that'll remove that error. And it does get a couple of funky error warnings, but that's fine. And now we can say, what was it the missile had? It had, where are you, missile? Where are you? You're in the prefabs. Missile. It's a missile control script. Yeah, so we'll just go and grab that. So we'll say missile control, but with a lowercase, equals missile dot get component missile control, and then we'll say missile control dot target. Target equals. I'm pretty sure the target is here and available to us. Current target. Okay, so let's quickly grab that in here. Shift Control S. Missile control target equals current target. Let's just make sure that doesn't throw any errors. It doesn't. Let's give it a quick run, see if there's any confusion. Oh, sorry, I'll pause it and then turn off maximize. How are we getting on? Come on. Oh, beautiful missile, look. Any errors? No, it's still instantiating it. Very good. Right, so we need to make sure it's facing in the right direction. So let's just get that in. Let's back over to our missile control. We've set our target, so now we should need to do. Now this didn't work, did it? Why? I just did that through an error, didn't it? The best overload has some invalid arguments. Let's have a quick look at and see how that functions. Transform.lookAt target. Hang on. Target.position, yeah. Transform.position. And then I'm guessing it's a transform. Let's just do that first. I'm expecting that to work. Give it a click and drag it in. Doing this a little slowly. I think in the next video we will I'll do all this first for you, but it was complicated enough that I wanted to go through the steps. Okay, they're facing the wrong direction, but you can see that they're following that one there. It's interesting. It's interesting. I was very much expecting that to work, given that the missile Z is correct. So let's quickly take a look at the missile. Prefabs missile. Let's spin it on its head 180 and just see if that makes any difference. Come on. No, it's still facing the wrong way. You can see it's following it around though, and I know obviously it's not moving towards it. Let's make it move towards it to make it a little bit more obvious. 1 second, I'll work out how that's done. Get right back. So what we need to say is we need to say transform dot position equals vector3 dot move towards. It's slightly annoying. We'll say current target, so it's just transform dot position comma target dot transform dot position, and then it's going to be time dot delta time times speed, obviously ensuring that I spell transform correctly. Shift Control S. Let's see how that looks. Oh, I like that. Yeah, it's getting sunk inside it, which is cool. Oh, I love it. I love it. There we go. The homing missiles are working. Oh, interestingly, it is moving. It is facing the right direction now. What was I? Maybe it was always facing the right direction. I just had the. This is good. It's not fast enough, you can see, which is kind of cool. It can't move towards those objects when they're blown up. Okay. All right. Let's make sure it's a bit quicker then. So let's make sure we set the speed to 2F, but also make sure in our missiles here we just do a reset on there. I'm just going to try setting that back to 0 again, just to see if that makes any difference whatsoever. No. Right, Control S. What we'll do on here now is, I think we'll finish this off by saying my apologies, I had to take a rather long break there. We were having some storm issues here, so let's carry on. So I've increased the speed, haven't I? The next thing we want to do is we want to say if and when we reach the target, we want it to, well, obviously destroy itself, and why don't we instantiate that explosion. So let's go back over to missile control again. We'll have public particle system explosion effect. This is, we're still on the missile. Just Control S, and then we should be able to, if we've got our missile here, we should just be able to drag our explosion into the there we go. Speed is good. Target we don't need to do for now. Let's make sure that's saved. That's good. Alright, so now what we can do is we can say if brackets vector3 dot distance between transform dot position and transform is less than 0.1f. Alright, we'll say something like that. We'll say instantiate explosion effect. Transform dot position. Quaternion dot identity, and also destroy game objects. I think that should work. Let's just see if that works. Okay, so what have we got? We're saying transfer position has moved towards it. We've increased the speed to 2. Let's give it a go. I can still see situations where that might happen, where the thing goes off the screen while the missile is still chasing it, but let's not worry about it for now. If we just drag that in, let's give this a watch. Here they come. Okay, the one thing we haven't done, I can see now, is reduce the health, have we? Let's just take a quick look at how the other ones do it so I can remind myself. So we'll look at the machine gun targeting system. So let's have a quick look at that. The missile's going to do this now. Machine gun targeting system, where are you? Back to, here we go. Current enemy health dot reduce health. Okay, that's the maybe fire one. So what we'll do is we'll do a nice, I don't know, 30 damage. So if we go back over to our missile, we're going to have to add another effect. We're going to have a start on this now. Void start. We can say, where are we going? It's enemy health bar manager or something, isn't it? So if we go to our prefabs again, we go to alien craft, it'll be the enemy health manager, that's the one. So we can go back to here and we can say enemy health manager, enemy health, provided it's been kind, that enemy health shouldn't get set until after the instantiate. So we'll say enemy health equals target dot get component enemy health manager. There we go. And then we can say here enemy health dot reduce health by, I always pick 30F. Alright. I think that's going to work. The instantiate shouldn't call start, and let's just quickly show you the our missile launcher. Where it does this instantiate here, I'm hoping that the target gets created before start runs. If it doesn't, we might have a bit of an issue. Let's just have a look, see how we get on. I wouldn't mind to make that explosion a little smaller as well, but let's work on that in a minute. To be honest with you, I won't make it any smaller. I won't play around with this. I'll just leave that as it is for now. There we go, it's working. Lovely. I'm not completely satisfied that that speed's good enough, so let's quickly change that to 4F or something like that. 4F there. If we go back into our prefab missile, it's probably still showing us 4, so let's just do reset. That will remove the explosion effect, won't it? You need to be careful with stuff like that, don't you? So let's just pop that back in. We can always change that later on. No, Control S. We can always change that later. Put that back in. So it should be nice and quick now. And guys, I think we're coming to the end of the road. I think it's this will be a good one. There we go. And last one, look, I love the way it follows it. I think that's cool. I like the way it finishes off and just curls around. Yeah, I think that's a good looking effect. particle system. It's almost not visible, but there we go. Alright, brilliant. Thank you very much. I think we're there. This is what happens when I try and do these things live. I hit a few snags. I sometimes think it's a good way to watch this because then you get to see some of the issues. Obviously, as always, I will upload the package and the latest source code up to GitHub, and I'll put the link in the comments. I appreciate any comments, subscribes, likes that you might have, so please put them forward to my way, and I will do my best to respond. Thank you very much, guys. I look forward to seeing you soon. Cheers now. Bye bye.